Oh, okay.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of KiltzHealth Livestream with Dr. Nelson. I'm your host, Dr. Nelson. Let me go live on Instagram, and I have an echo here. There we go. And let's see if Rumble didn't go live and it doesn't. Oh, there we go. I all right. It'll be another day. Welcome, everyone. Uh, First, the disclaimer.
I
And
didn't read it. What does it say?
there we go. I had an echo. It's from another tab that I have open on YouTube. All right, that was gone. I am a doctor, but I'm not your doctor. All the information provided here is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Consult your healthcare provider for specific about advice about yourself. All right.
But you're my doctor.
So I've spent over 40 years, I'm into my fifth decade as a doctor in the art and science of family medicine. And if there is one thing I've learned is that the most profound healing happens when we return to basic. Our bodies are designed to eat a certain way, and when we go back to that, usually that's very healing. Uh, as a residency trained physician and certified uh, in metabolic health, I see people every day looking for a way out of chronic inflammation. At KiltzHealth, we advocate for the power of the carnivore diet. Keto, we take them in. Paleo, whatever way you're eating, please come in. Uh, Sign up for the Kiltz tribe. The link is in the description, by the way. Uh, and we recommend a diet of bacon, eggs, beef, butter, ice cream, intermittent feasting, and salt. Right, the
That's right.
baby's diet. Today, I am thrilled to be joined by someone who isn't just talking the talk. She has lived uh, live it in her life before she even became part of the KiltzHealth uh, people. She's been a dedicated carnivore for nearly 3 years, navigating the bumps and the breakthroughs that come with reclaiming your health. She's a vital member of our team, one that we rely almost daily. Officially, she's Dr. Kiltz, uh, person in charge, and once in a while, she follows my instructions as well. We're
Once in a while.
we're going to dive deep into her journey of healing. Three incredible challenging conditions she's dealt with: lipedema, endometriosis, and Hashimoto. So help me welcome Alia Wells. So you frequently see her in Dr. Kiltz live streams, but she is our guest today. So all questions are for her. Please put them in the chat. If you have any questions, she'll be answering every single one of them. Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
wider questions. Let's test my knowledge.
she's been in training with Dr. Kiltz and with me for the past. How long have you been working for Dr. Kiltz? You started before I did.
December 6th, 2024.
All right. So it's going on almost 14 months now next week.
Wow, that went really fast.
Yeah. All right.
What's your first question?
First, let me take a look at the comments here and maybe try to acknowledge a couple of people. We do have a new member. By the way, she
I think
signed
that's
up.
on my channel. I think I used to work for him in a dental. He's a dentist. I used to work in his dental office.
All right. So he did sign up sometime between this morning's live stream and the first time in the afternoon that I went to set things up, had already signed up as a new
Dan.
member to your channel, I guess. All right, Brisket Boomers, hello. Let me know what the temperature is where you are, where you're watching from. 63 degrees in West Volusia County, Florida. Same county as Daytona Beach and DeLand. We are just northeast of Orlando. All right. So let me see. Booby Goats is here. I always get a kick with that name. How are you,
There's
Aaron?
a story. It doesn't have. There's a story behind it. She's got a good story behind it.
Yeah, she does. Facebook is Food Freedom. Karen from my neighbor from Lakeland. Steadfast. Grandma Crochet Corner. I didn't set up the video, but this morning I woke up to see, was it this morning or yesterday? She had made a song for me.
Aw.
So at the meetup in Tampa next week, I'm going to show a brand new belt that has been with me for, I don't know, maybe 10 years. Because when my wife bought it for me, it didn't fit. Found it last week. I tried to put it on, and it wraps around all the way past the middle of my back, and it doesn't fit either because it's too large. So never wore it. I remember exactly when I got it. I tried it. It just didn't fit, and it's 56 inches.
Oh wow! Yay!
Anyways, maybe later I can put the link. It's about almost 4 minutes. No, it's more than 4, about 5 minutes long. So I'm not going to play it here, but thank you, Barbara. Anyways, Mike Selly, that's the father. And I don't know if the son is watching right now. Papa Carnivore.
This is Michael Carnivore Selly on top of a lion.
Okay, so father and son are here both. Thank you for being here.
Can't wait to see you both next week.
All right. So let's start with the questions. I have a question for you. And if you have questions for Alia, please put them in the chat. We're going to dig into her story. Many of you have heard it. Maybe some of you have not. So question number 1, what was the specific tipping point nearly 3 years ago that led you to leave the standard nutrition behind and commit to a carnivore way of life?
Somebody this morning said, write down your why that makes you cry. Somebody said that in the chat. I forgot who said that. And my why that made me cry was my weight. I know that Ken Berry's like, find a better why. If my weight didn't bother me, like if I looked totally fine, but still felt like crap and was crying all the time and diarrhea all the time, but I'd been skinny, I wouldn't have gone on the carnivore diet. Does that make sense? So my why was actually my weight.
But along with the weight, and he's not here to tell you that obesity causes no disease. That's his opinion. But so But
Yes,
what
because we got to get around to that. I haven't actually lost that much weight in 3 years.
but what other symptoms did you have?
So okay, good. I get the question now. So after my kids were born, my body was pretty much a train wreck. And I was having diarrhea all the time. I wasn't sleeping more and more, tons of insomnia. Nights I couldn't sleep, maybe 2-3 hours. And then on top of that, I was nursing my daughter for many years, and she would just wake me up in the middle of the night. So you can imagine you're nursing a baby. I nursed her for 3.5 years, and then you're not sleeping. Netflix is your best friend. And then you're working at 8 o'clock in the morning because you work from home. So you will go crazy. You will feel very bad. In addition, not sleeping. I was always upset, which was very very emotional, and that's not normal for me. Like completely not normal for me. If we go back earlier in life, I had a lot of menstrual troubles. I had a lot of pain. I believe I have endometriosis. And the reason I say I believe is because I was never diagnosed with it. And when I went to the doctor and I said I have unbearable period cramps, they would just say, just do this pill. And it's normal. Oh, everyone said it's normal. It's normal. It's normal. So you think something is normal, it's extremely painful. So something is wrong with you. Like something that's debilitatingly painful, like you can't get off your office floor because you're in pain. And luckily you were an executive and you could lock the door so nobody would see you on the floor when you were meant to be working. You know what I mean? Because you can't leave. You have to be working. But these normal pains that I dealt with from the age of 14 to whenever carnivore, it got better after I had kids. But the point is that lots of pain. These are things that I dealt with. Lots of diarrhea, lots of IBS issues, not sleeping, very emotional. Things would make me cry that shouldn't make me cry. And always wondering why I couldn't be happy or why I couldn't feel happy, even though I would show it on the outside. And my husband's listening to me right now, so I don't know what conversations we're going to have after this. I don't know what.
You never told me that. So, yeah.
But I'm very good at seeming happy, but then not being happy. But he also saw it when I was like, why are you crying about this? Sort of like, why is that upsetting to you? Anyways, these were the tipping point things, but really I was just trying to lose weight.
So
one more thing. I thought I was getting blood clots because I had pain in my legs all the time. And I thought like the end is near because I bruise easily. My legs hurt. We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
So a bunch of things. It was only your weight.
That was the only reason I started carnivore.
So I came across yesterday a short that you had made like 3 years ago, right when you were starting carnivore. It wasn't a new short that you put. It just from 3 years ago, it just popped up.
Yeah. Oh, funny.
And you had been just a few days into carnivore, and you were already feeling
amazing. I was sleeping, and then I was like automatically waking up at sunrise. And we lived in this beautiful condo, gated community, so I could just go outside and walk around. And I'm like, wow, it's 5 a.m. I have energy. I don't feel like death. This is incredible.
All right. So you mentioned the endometriosis and why you think you were not actually diagnosed by the physician with that.
No.
But you did have multiple symptoms from it, and it was most likely that because it can be very painful. Inflammation, carnivore diet took care of that.
Yeah.
And do you know, we don't need to get too personal, but you're still a menstruating female.
Yep. And it's like crazy. I want to say, and I don't know how many younger women are watching this, maybe booby goats, but like terrible periods my whole life. 39 years old, my period gets normal, like clockwork every 28 days. Like that's weird. Like why is that happening at 39?
So
I know why.
Now it's regular.
Yeah.
And is it painful at all? I mean, is it like a bleep in your feeling
Yeah.
what you have? How is it?
I mean, maybe a little bit of cramping, but I can like act like a normal human being and proceed with my day. And like 95% of the cases, I don't need to
It
lie
doesn't
down.
become debilitating.
It's not debilitating. Yeah. Like, remember when Oppenheimer came out? My period started that day, and my husband and I went to see Oppenheimer, and I was like, this would not have happened a year ago. I would have been in bed.
All
So,
right.
improvement of quality of life. I do want to say one more thing. Now you're making me remember. Like, I remember 2 days into the carnivore diet, like bending down in the shower. Not that I couldn't bend over. I wasn't like that big. More, I was always afraid I was going to hurt my back. Because I was always constantly also having back and shoulder pain. And I bent over and my back didn't hurt. I'm like, success. There's so many little things I've forgotten about.
And pain it's almost always very unexpected.
Right.
Something that happens with, that gets better. Personal experience, plantar fasciitis, chronic low back pain, don't have any. And
Amazing.
we hear constantly, I think grandma the other morning mentioned also her pain. And every Papa Carnivore, we can go through some of the people that are actually here. And hello, Mark, Ines.
Mark's here?
Yeah, Mark's here. And pain is something that goes away for most people fairly quickly. But you mentioned the bruising in your legs, the pain in your legs. It was excruciating pain. You thought you were having blood clots.
Yeah.
And let's jump to what diagnosis do you think, or what condition was that from?
Oh, thanks to my doctor, Dr. Nelson, who told me to research lipedema. I think it was from lipedema because you have a lot of pain in your legs because there's something wrong with your lymphatic system, and water gets kind of like stored in the legs. Like if you look at my legs when I first wake up in the morning, especially below my knee, they're very skinny. And then by the end of the day, they're ballooned out. And that's completely from the condition. With that being said, it's maybe once a month I'll have some pain in my legs and I'll go to sleep and it'll be fine in the morning. Maybe once a month, but this used to be chronic, like every day. And I didn't even realize that the pain went away. One day I was like, my legs don't hurt. It was another thing that just disappeared with the carnivore diet. Can I just say something really gross that skin conditions. I had a C-section. Now, my last C-section was 7.5 years ago. I started carnivore like 3-ish years ago for 5. Oh no, my daughter's almost 8. So for 5 years, I had an unhealed wound from a C-section. It wouldn't close up. Don't ask me why I didn't go to a doctor. I just thought it was going to be like that forever. A lot of things I'll say, I just thought it was going to be like that forever, including eczema, which I don't have anymore, like bleeding eczema on my hand. I think it was 3 months.
And I understand because sometimes people may have it wasn't a large wound. It was
it wasn't a large. It was just itchy and weird and kind of gross.
Sort of the corner of the C-section.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So some people get some suppuration and they just clean it up and
literally
pack it sometimes, put a Band-Aid or gauze, but that healed when you
3
went
months
carnivore.
into carnivore. It was like gone. Didn't smell bad anymore. No more pain. Totally healed. Completely healed. Hasn't reopened.
All right. So we're going to be talking within the community, hopefully, about lipedema.
Mm-hmm.
I spoke to Siobhan Hoggins this weekend, and she told me that, she'll come and talk to us about lipedema. She's become a world expert in that. And if any women here listening that thinks they may have lipedema, there are 2 websites you want to check. One is lipedema.org, and the other one is lipedemasimplified.org. I believe it's .org, and both of them. And there are a self-assessment quiz in there that you can answer the questions, and it'll give you an idea whether you may be dealing with lipedema. And lipedema is not obesity. Lipedema is not, it has the word edema. It's not necessarily swelling.
Right.
And it's different from lymphedema. Okay, so lipedema and lymphedema are two totally separate conditions that very often are together, though. Okay, so women with lipedema may also have lymphedema.
Right.
We're going to leave it at that because today is not the day for the lecture on lipedema. But
but I just want to know, Dr. Nelson, if someone suspects they have lipedema, I hear often in the chat, like, I'm stalled for women and I'm stalled and I can't lose weight. I'm curious, what would be some things that they would want to look into? And then we'll talk about something else.
The going to this website, both of them, I believe, have the same self-assessment test. I would start with that. Go and take the test. It's going to give you an idea, because what happens is that pear shape that many women have, when it's very pronounced, it's probably lipedema.
Mm-hmm.
I'm simplifying the criteria, by the way.
Yeah.
Just
and pain.
But
it's painful. It's not like.
But one of the characteristics is painful. It
Mhm.
seems to be a connective tissue disorder. And I say it seems because the specific cause has not been determined yet. But it's not, excuse me what I'm going to say. You may look fat, but you're not fat.
I know.
Okay?
Do you know how annoying that is?
And, I do know that some people have made the comment about you. Well, you're eating this way. Why are you still fat? They've made it to me.
About me?
No, I actually.
Oh, okay.
They've made the comment about me.
Oh, okay.
But I know I've seen at least in one occasion someone who made a comment about you in one of the live streams. I don't know if you missed it, but
I totally missed it. But I was gonna say, like, yeah, it's because of this and how hard you work at it, and then it looks like you have no progress. It's quite frustrating. Because other people that don't have this issue, they just lose all the weight. You know what I mean?
But you may not have significant visceral fat or subcutaneous fat, especially in the upper extremity, and the lower extremity is disproportionately, it's not responding the way you want it to respond because you've worked hard at it.
Yeah.
And just understanding a little bit about the disease, I think it helps many women, because I found out about lipedema just about 2 to 3 years ago. Okay. So I had a patient I was seeing for chronic pain. Looking back, I'm 100% sure her chronic pain was from lipedema. She had all the characteristics, and I'm sorry, I missed it.
Well, now you know.
Wish I could remember her name, because
Did you reach out to her?
Yeah. So, and if you go to this website that I mentioned, lipedema.org and lipedema simplified, there are pictures there, and there are questions. If you think you're dealing with this, I'll tell you something that many women have and they don't realize it might be because of this. There is a cuffing phenomenon that happens. Your legs, in some phenotypes of lipedema, it stops at the knee. In some other stops at the ankles. But when it goes down to the ankles or the wrists, it stops. It never includes the foot or the hand. and it
Right.
looks like you had cuffs in there causing pressure, and so they call it a cuffing phenomenon. If you have that, maybe you didn't know what it was. uh that's Now, I do have a bunch of questions, and but
Let's
there are
get to some of
questions
them.
were questions from the audience, so I'm gonna go ahead and start going over
Oh,
those.
oh, sorry, I clicked the button. I'm so used to clicking.
You're the guest here today. All right. So Grandma Nina, 25. She's 60, 2 years high fat carnivore, LDL 231, HDL 69, triglycerides 73. Uh,
I don't. I think that's a typo.
that is a typo because I don't think HDLs can go into thousands because it says 7764. So please clarify if you can, Grandma Nina, what that number is. Small particles number of LDL, 321. If you give me an idea what the total particle numbers of LDL are, then I can know. As an example, unfortunately, my LDL particles was 1,000, about 600. My small LDL is too high. That was 2 years ago. I haven't looked at it. A1C 5.4, CAC score 50. Told cardiologist no statins. He said to do the injectables. Those are worse medications, I think, than even the statins, but they're being used. Or to participate in Verbi trial. I have reviewed some of the results of the Repatha study, which they stopped at about 2 years. There was beginning to be a signal in the trials that Repatha decreased all-cause mortality, but they stopped it before that signal became statistically significant. Food for thought, right? Your triglycerides are great. You basically have a 1-to-1 HDL to triglycerides or triglyceride to HDL ratio. Uh, LDL, it is high. You're close to what it would be considered a lean mass hyperresponder. Not quite there, but very close. You're not my patient. You have a cardiologist. Follow his instructions if you think you should. And by the way, I'm 100% behind patient's choice. So LDLP is almost 2,500, and the smalls, that's a very good ratio. Anything under 25% of the small LDLP to the total LDLP, it probably means you probably have pattern A there, but see if you've seen the labs pattern A or pattern B. Okay. All right. So let's go to the next question. Oh, okay. This is a good question. Thank you, Karen. How did you get started working with Dr. Kiltz?
I twisted his arm until he hired me. January 2020. Wait, are we in 2020? What year are we in? January 2024. I did a live stream with Dr. Kiltz, and I said, one day I'm going to work for this man. And I didn't say, and the job I wanted, he already had somebody for. So I didn't say anything to him at that moment because that would be rude. And then later that year, my husband and I were talking because I wanted to change my career path, but I had no idea what I would do. And then 3 days later, Dr. Kiltz posted on Instagram that he was hiring the job I wanted. So I reached out and yeah, and texted him and called him and texted him some more. And then we talked, and that's how it happened.
All right. What's your official position, by the way?
My official position is Kiltz Health Engagement Lead, meaning I lead engagement. That's why I'm so engaged, because I'm so engaging.
So this question is about your next engagement next week.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Will Alia be at the meetup next week?
Dr. Nelson, do you want to answer that question?
Now, yes, she is. Up until yesterday, she didn't know she was going to be, but she is. So she'll be getting there Wednesday, right?
Yeah, Wednesday. I'm leaving here Tuesday, so yeah, I'll be alive on Wednesday. Gary, I will be happy to meet you and your son. That'll be fun.
All right. So, Grandma Crochet Corner, Barbara's asking, I've been listening to this channel for a bit, and I have heard the food ice cream a few times. What actually is this ice cream really? I'm sure it isn't store-bought ice cream. You're correct, Grandma. I'm going to let Alia, who's the guest today, answer that question. What is Kiltz ice cream?
It is cream and eggs, maybe some vanilla bean, plus or minus sweetener of your choice. But essentially, it's yolks and heavy whipping cream put into an ice cream machine. And that's sweet enough. If you're on a carnivore diet, that will be sweet enough.
So basically, if you eat eggs and you use heavy whipping cream for your coffee, for example, those are the ingredients, the two main ingredients. You know that you can put a pinch of salt in ice cream as well. You can do it with a little bit of honey. You can do it with allulose, monk fruit, the sweetener of your choice, or not at all, by the way. So we may have whoever comes next Friday, not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow, Dr. Kiltz is going to make his ice cream. He might put a touch of vanilla, and we'll have some honey for those that may want to add some honey. And I don't want to mention the other thing that I suggested because we don't know. We haven't had a response from her, right?
Oh, yeah, she's bringing it.
All right. So
yeah, she's bringing
Susie from Switch. I just received 2 bottles yesterday of, it's a allulose-based syrup. And I don't use it, but my wife and my son use it in their coffee, or he makes shuffles sometimes. So I hope that answers your question. So the baby's diet is BEBBI. You can put 2 I's and S. That is bacon, eggs, butter beef, ice cream. Also, in some of the books, he uses the I for intermittent feasting, and the S is for salt. So that's the baby's diet. We don't do that other thing that sometimes people post here. We do the baby's diet.
What's the other thing? The beef, butter, bacon, eggs diet? We don't do that one.
Those things, well, I don't know about that one, but the other one is trademark. So
we can't even say it?
Technically, we could get, everybody says it, but technically we shouldn't use it in any meaningful way.
Okay.
All right. So Trudy. Dr. Nelson, I met you a few weeks ago in San Diego. I have been carnivore for 2 years. My question is, I'd like to know what you think of taking herbs or medicines. Through some of my struggles, I used plenty of herbal supplements it was 7 out of a list I have of 10 anti-glutamic or anti-glutamase herbal remedies. When I was getting my weekly treatments for that thing in the past that I don't have anymore, but that I had. And so, yeah, traditionally, that probably has been the biggest use of herbs and plants for years. They were our medications, okay? Medications, as we know them today, prescribed and made in a manufacturing facility and all that, hasn't really existed for too long. Maybe 150. I think aspirin is as we know it today, is 150 years or something like that. Before, you had to use the bark of the willow tree. Well, guess what that has?
Oh,
Aspirin.
wow. Interesting.
Yeah. All right. So at the moment, we're out of questions. Hello, Mitch. For some reason, I saw something the other day and I thought you had changed your channel's name. It did have OGC, what I saw.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Maybe he changed it back.
Maybe YouTube is being slow on changing it everywhere. I don't know.
All right. Question about lipedema.
Sure.
And we haven't talked about the Hashimoto's. We'll talk in a minute about that. Yep. But lipedema fat is often described as resistant to diet or exercise. How did your body composition change once you prioritized animal fats and proteins?
Remarkably, because with lipedema, I was obese before. And so kind of like the obesity is gone, but the lipedema is still there. So I don't look so round. I look more shapely. But I think a lot of that was water. And holding on to that water, you will look really puffy. And so getting rid of that, it's also easier to move when you're not having all these toxic water or liquid in your body. Yeah, I think that's my answer to the question.
Have you found, whether it's the lipedema or endometriosis or the Hashimoto's, have you found that there may be some foods, even carnivore foods, that actually trigger a little flare up or something like that?
Dairy, cheese, heavy whipping cream, that'll flare that up.
Okay.
I'm fine with meat and eggs, but I love those things. But you can tell if you look at pictures on Instagram of me at Hack Your Health, I was down in the cheese those days, and you can tell that my face was like very swollen. That is 100% from cheese and dairy. So I know it. And I think I can do like a little bit of kefir, but I got to stay away from everything else.
Did it affect in any way your mobility?
Yeah, I can tell mobility. So sometimes I'll get some aches and pains, but I don't think it's from that. That's if I actually just treat.
So you've noticed that some foods, like you said. So
any like question. Carbohydrates. Any carbohydrates will get me inflamed. Here's the list of non-carnivore foods I can eat that will not eventually trigger something. Avocado, olives, pickles. That's the extent. I know if I eat too much onion, because my kids like onions in their beef, I'll have gut issues. If I eat vegetables make me feel worse than McDonald's. I can go eat McDonald's and just gain weight. I eat vegetables, and in 3 days I'll be in bed. and not able to move.
Yeah.
Don't eat McDonald's. Don't eat McDonald's.
What advice do you have for women who feel like their body is working against them despite doing everything right? Everything right that the typical out there advice gives you, right?
Like they're on carnivore? You're on carnivore
No,
already? Oh, they're not on
according to the
carnivore.
traditional diet advice, they're doing everything right. What will be your advice
Oh, okay.
to
My
them?
advice would be to research the people that talk about a carnivore diet, like Dr. Kiltz, Anthony Chafee, Ken Berry. Ken Berry is actually the reason I started carnivore, but I got to back up. I watched a video from Eric Berg interviewing a carnivore from like a couple of years ago, and that's actually what got me interested in carnivore. But research really what that is, um, and see if there's a possibility that that's something that you could get yourself onto. Meaning, slowly but surely get rid of the things that are not carnivore and see how you feel along the way, starting with getting rid of grains and seed oils and then progressing over, because you're going to notice at each step that you feel a little bit better, and that maybe you'll realize all the food and all the propaganda out there is garbage and there is a proper way to eat. I don't know if everyone needs to do the carnivore diet, but I think everyone should try it out.
All right. Well, you mentioned Dr. Berry, and he talks about a spectrum, right? I agree with that.
Yeah.
There are some people that, if they're sicker, might need to do a more strict version. And there are some people that are able to have 20, 50, 100 grams of carbs a day. You still need to be selective.
Yeah.
They should be real food.
Right.
Okay. And if it doesn't affect you, all the more power to it. Recently, I think 2 days ago, Michaela Peterson disclosed that she has been able to add some plants. And more power to her, because she has been, she's a woman in her 30s, I believe, and she has had for most of her life had to eat beef, salt, and water. And every time she tried to add anything, she had flare ups of her autoimmune problems. So,
Yeah. Fantasy says that what I said is baloney, in other words, and that seed oils are good for you. What are seed oils? Please put that in the chat. What are the seed oils that are good for you? I'm curious. All right, Dr. Nelson, I'm ready for the next question.
so seed oils have been an invention of man for the past 125 years or so. Before that, in our history, we didn't have seed oils. We didn't have oil made out of corn, rapeseed,
Sounds like a terrible name.
rice bran, I mean, canola. All these oils have, by the time they made it to a bottle for you to buy, they have been rancid because they are produced with very high heat. And polyunsaturated fatty acids are very unstable. Okay. If you want to use a vegetable source or plant based oil, the only things I would probably recommend would be olive oil, avocado oil, and coconut oil. But all the other oils basically can produce inflammation. I had a personal experience when I started using a oil-based oil, and I liked it because I had some dry hands, a little bit of eczema in my hands, and the oil was very good for my skin. And I developed an acute pain that lasted for months. I had a pinched nerve in the neck, and it got irritated to the point that I was in severe pain constantly. Severe pain to the point that if I could take even a narcotic prescribed, but a narcotic I would have, except while I'm seeing a patient, the patient doesn't want me to be on any narcotics, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't take it even if I wanted because uh, I was using a lot of ibuprofen. The day I stopped using that oil, which was only used in my hands, within 3 days that the pain stopped.
Wow.
What was irritating and inflaming my nerve was that it wasn't even oil that was ingesting.
It's crazy.
Uh, there are studies where, for example, study the Minnesota coronary experiment. You can look it up. It was done with corn oil and animal fats. And I'm not going to go and do a complete recount, but the result of that was the corn oil group lowered their cholesterol. Great, right? Because everybody talks about how bad a high fat diet could be for cholesterol. Do you know what else was a result of that study? That the corn oil group had more strokes than the animal fat group.
Oh, wow.
So you want to lower cholesterol and have more strokes? You go at it. Uh, what was the result of that? The study was never published. It wasn't published until like 20 years later, 30. The principal investigator took his name off everything, and they basically put the study in a drawer somewhere.
Crazy.
The principal investigator was Ansel Keys.
Hmm.
The results didn't match what they were expecting, so it wasn't published. And this happens all the time. So not a lot of studies are not published because if it doesn't give you the result you're looking for and you don't agree with that, you might decide not to publish it. So if you think seed oils are good for you, go ahead and use them. I wouldn't use it even as a motor oil in my car, or maybe I would because they are good motor oil. Canola oil was a machinery lubricant, and most of these seed oils started as machinery lubricants. Okay, before we even had a bunch of cars. World War I, you had tanks, you had machines, and you used canola oil for it. Okay, if you think a motor oil is good for your health, go ahead and do it. But I'm open to suggestions. If you prove to me that seed oils are good for you, I may listen to it.
Good for hinges and the doors.
All right. So Hashimoto's.
Yeah.
Many Hashimoto patients struggle with cold intolerance and low energy. How was your energy before and after you changed your diet?
Oh man, I was exhausted all the time. I was so tired. Um, I don't think I did any traditional housewife things for 6 years, other than nurse my babies and play with my kids. But like cleaning, laundry, dishes, that was all to my husband because I was so tired. Um, I remember the first week in carnivore, I was so excited. I was like scrubbing the bathroom floor, and I was so happy to be down on the bathroom floor with energy, happily cleaning. Does that make sense? So it's changed. Cold, I live in a hot climate, so yeah, I will say when I go to Chicago, I will get a rash in the middle of winter. But I don't know if that's Hashimoto's related or not, but my skin will get a rash in the cold of Chicago. So I don't know about the cold because I've been living in a hot climate for 10 years, but definitely the energy within 3 days completely changed.
Were you at any time using thyroid medication?
So when I got diagnosed with a thyroid a thyroid condition, because the doctor did not explain to me what it was, he just said my numbers were like 10,000 or something, and they're dangerously high. And I was angry, calling me angry that I didn't pick up my medication yet. So I took it for a couple days. I'm like, oh, I feel a little better, and then I didn't feel better, and so I stopped taking it. I'm like, this is not helping me. Why am I gonna try to? It was levothyroxine, So I stopped taking it. And then when I was pregnant with my daughter, I believe I took it because the doctor said I had to take it because I was pregnant. So I was going to listen to my doctor. And I think those are the only 2 times I've been on
Yeah.
thyroid
If
medication.
you are hypothyroid during your pregnancy, it may affect the growth of your baby. So
Right.
you may not want to hear this, but you got to take something if you need it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think I recall that I did after they told me that I was taking some thyroid medication. I don't know if it was the whole time, but probably it was a long time ago. So those are the only 2 times I've been on thyroid medication.
All right. So the last time you did your antibody titers and your thyroid hormones, were they normal?
The antibodies, no. The thyroid numbers are
But
like
were they
just in
lower than
range. Oh
before?
yeah, they were a lot lower than before. They're still like high, but I haven't tested. I asked them, so I did my blood work a couple weeks ago, and I said, please test the antibodies. She said she couldn't. She'd have to send me to a specialist who had the ability to ask for that. So those thyroid numbers all look good without the antibodies. So I actually don't know about the antibodies. But the last 2 times, they were better than the original. So each time it's gotten better on the carnivore diet.
And did you have any problems with your skin, hair, nail health before you realized you had a problem with the thyroid?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not that I remember. I remember feeling distinctly crazy and like upset all the time. And that I think is directly related to Hashimoto's. I've spoken to Heather Stone, and I didn't ask Amy, Dr. Horniman, about this when I spoke to her, but Heather Stone specifically said many women get misdiagnosed with bipolar disorder when they have Hashimoto's because you're all over the place. You're high and then you're low. You're high and then you're low. So you feel really crazy. And I always blame the Hashimoto's on why I couldn't lose weight, but I did lose weight. I lost the obesity. I didn't lose the lipedema, but I lost the obesity. So it's hard to lose weight in both conditions, but with the carnivore diet, I was able to lose the obesity, if that makes sense. But no, I just remember feeling crazy. Does that make any sense? I remember feeling like very frantic all the time.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
So what does a day of eating is for you? How many times a day do you eat?
Usually 2. Like
Okay.
I like to eat breakfast. I know, terrible. I love to eat breakfast, but then I'll go all day and then maybe eat dinner. And usually eat dinner. And it's usually pork ribs, some sort of meat. There's some eggs in there. And that's it. I am going to confront something called sardines. I think I need to eat sardines.
You
I'm going to I'm going to confront the subject. I'm going to look at them and decide to eat them.
you don't eat sardines?
No. Thank you, Sandy.
Is Dr. Boss coming to
No,
Tampa?
she's not. She's doing her boot camp or whatever it's called, her 21-day course. She's not coming. But I bought some canned fish recently. We thought it was sardines. It tasted delicious. It happened to not be sardines. It was herring. So I will at least eat more herring.
Herring are not that small.
Yeah,
mackerel looks a lot like it though.
Oh, okay. It was herring though. It was a little bit bigger. I'm like, why is this fish so big? There you go. Is there a list of who's coming to Tampa? Yes, there is, Rick. There's a huge list.
Oh, please tell us who's coming to Tampa.
All 90 people?
No, the speakers, I think. He might be referring to the speakers.
Okay. So at Dr. Kiltz's dinner, we have a special guest who I confirmed yesterday, but he's not able to speak the next day. But Dr. I can't say his name.
Pradeep Jamnadas.
Yes. Despite the fact
I've been listening to him for 3 years.
So Dr. Kiltz, Dr. Nelson, Dr. Anna Rosa, Dr. Ovadia, Jenny Middich, Susie from Switch, Two Crazy Ketos. Mitch, of course, is coming and speaking. We love Mitch. I got to look at the list or else I'm going to forget somebody. Diane Ladd, Juliet Edens is going to be speaking. I'm looking at the list so I don't forget anybody. Adam from Healing Humanity. And I think that's it. Maybe Jeff. Lash is there, but he is not speaking. He will be there, though. Lash will be there. Lash is coming to help with the barbecue. He's going to help do some photography for me. Let's see. Brett Miner is going to be there. Oh, Rick Rodriguez is going to be there. A bunch of people.
Even if he doesn't speak, he's going to hold court talking about the iguana diet.
Yeah. Isn't everybody speaking? Everyone can talk. Everyone is allowed to talk to each other. Speakers is a different issue. Because with 90 people, we've only got so many hours to talk.
All right. One last question, then we have to wrap up. Karen asks, faith-focused food freedom. Was your husband understanding of the condition causing you to be tired?
No, absolutely not. 100% no. We have talked many times. We don't know how we stayed married. But luckily we did. We survived and persevered. So it must have been more good there than not. But no, it was very rough for us, for both of us, for many years because of, like, you marry somebody and then they have children and then they're a completely different, insane person. And they don't know why they're that way. And all of a sudden you feel normal again and you figured it out because you're like undernourished. You've destroyed your body from the foods you've been eating, and then your body ripped whatever resources you had that was decent out of you to make 2 human babies. And then you feel like a nut job afterwards. So no, carnivore diet, I'm not going to say carnivore diet resolved our marriage, but it helped me to become sane so that we could have communication again and like really build our marriage stably.
Very important.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see if we have any question. I used to have a lot of different aches and pains as well. Those are gone now. And this is Eat Healthy Fats in Instagram. And if I recognize the picture, it's Leon.
Yeah, it's Leon. Eat Healthy Fats.
So those comments don't show up in a StreamYard. And I'm going to have to figure out how to get the Rumble to work. Anyways.
I haven't figured out. I gave up on Rumble.
Where can people find you besides being in Dr. Kiltz live streams?
Alia at drkiltz.com or Alia Jasmine Happy Healthy at gmail.com, but I don't see that email enough. So
all right.
Yeah.
And do you have a YouTube channel?
I do have a YouTube channel, but I don't really post to it. And I might might not talk about carnivore ever again on my channel and do something completely different. I'm not sure. Because I talk about carnivore every day.
All righty. Well, you also stream Dr. Kiltz content. So you can go to Alia Wells on YouTube, just her name, and subscribe.
That'd be great. Bye, Mitch.
All righty. So we're going to go. On Tuesday, I tried to end before the 60 minutes. And for some reason, when it ended, it said it was over an hour.
Oh, funny.
Anyways, so we're going to leave now. At 5:30, we have a Zoom call. And tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., our morning live stream.
Bye.
Have a good day.